Farmington family's car stolen out of their driveway in broad daylight. More than 100 cars in Newington broken into in one night. In West Haven, 2 officers injured after a police cruiser was stolen. A car in Woodbridge gone in 30 seconds on Christmas Day. A rash of break-ins in just a couple of hours in Stratford. And in Meriden and Manchester, people waking up to their cars broken into and left with no tires.
It's happened to me once, and I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Jamel Hamilton knows the story all too well. Forgetting to lock his car one night was all it took for thieves to take advantage. A violating feeling for the Hartford dad.
Wonder what type of person is sitting in this seat. It's just more frustrating, the nerve of people to come on your property and actually go through your things. He's not alone. Towns and cities across the state reported an uptick in these crimes in 2020 from the previous year. In Manchester, it was an approximately 111% increase in calls for break-ins. Lieutenant Ryan Shea says one of the challenges they face when trying to make arrests is that even if they catch someone breaking in or stealing a car and the suspect takes off, Connecticut law says police can't chase them.
The statewide pursuit policy dictates that property crimes are not a justification for pursuits. Now, we as police officers understand that motor vehicle pursuits, they create an inherent danger to not only the officer, the suspect, and the general public.
He says while it's not always clear who's behind the crimes, especially if an arrest isn't made, many times it is teenagers. His concern is that they know they won't be chased by police.
I think that creates a frustration as the public sees it that we're not doing enough to stop these crimes.
Critics of changes to Connecticut's juvenile justice laws in recent years argue it's a factor driving the increase. Ken Barone, project manager for the Institute of Regional and Municipal Policy at Central Connecticut State University, conducts research for the state on auto thefts. He says the issue isn't exclusive to our state.
We're still seeing far fewer motor vehicle thefts per capita in Connecticut than we're seeing nationally. So we had the lowest number of motor vehicle thefts in 2019 that we've had in 35 years. Well, that was after we implemented juvenile justice reform.
Teenagers who are arrested for car break-ins and thefts can have their charges dismissed if they complete a diversionary program. That program was a bipartisan effort created specifically to address this issue and offer services to the child to give them a chance at reform.
To hold someone accountable, I think, is to make them aware of what they did, why it was wrong, how it impacted the person who they did it to, or whose property they harmed, whatever that looks like, and help that person figure out how to move on and give them new skills that they might not have had so that that mistake doesn't happen again.
What is the deterrent for these juveniles to not continue to commit these crimes?
Lawmakers are once again taking a look at break-ins and thefts this legislative session, though. Several bills have already been introduced. One, by a group of Republicans, proposes a tougher stance on repeat offenders.
What we're trying to do is provide the court with more resources and options to identify truly what are the issues here that are allowing or having these juveniles go out and recommit these offenses.
A proposal by a group of Democrats would focus on restorative justice and creating regional task forces. In Berlin, police are already doing something similar. They've created a community relations team that will work directly with residents through neighborhood watch groups and making the town as undesirable as possible for thieves.
The eyes and ears out there is what will help us a lot, because we only have a finite amount of officers, but there's many more residents that can help us in the community.
We want to focus on the things that we can control. We think we, at the police department, can control the opportunity to commit crime.
There are some things that you can control as well, making sure to never leave any valuables inside of your car overnight. Remembering to always lock your car, even if you're just running inside for a few minutes. Or even getting a doorbell or a security camera, and if you have one, checking the footage. Police say those extra steps make all the difference. Jamel Hamilton says he's learned it too.
Oh, I make sure I lock it now. Yes, absolutely.
Gabby Molina, Fox 61 News.